Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Today, I'm here to bring all of you a glorious chapter of Toriko. This chapter pretty much bitch slaps me in the fucking face. It's like, fuck you, Chibi, fuck you. That's exactly what this chapter of Toriko does, because I remember talking about it in the last week's chapter, that most likely the way it's being done, like especially with these recent chapters or these latest arcs of Toriko, it was almost a given that maybe inside that golden can it might have been Sinner. And with this chapter, it's like the mangaka told me and everyone else that probably thought of that, thinking it was probably Sinner inside the golden can, and it's like, fuck you. That's pretty much what it did. And so I got a big bitch slap with this chapter, and I have to say that, well, I was definitely wrong when it came to that. And we kind of find out it's some form of shellfish that has, like, extinct fish all inside of it. A bunch of meat cram-packed inside of its stomach. And, for instance, meat that's no longer around, maybe even Akasi or anyone that's never ate before, Toriko is being able to taste that, like others have never tasted. So I can understand the quality of it, but holy crap, out of all things that it could possibly have been, it was fish. It was a fish dish. It was a shellfish. And you're like, what? Like, what? Like, of all things? Like, I was thinking the Center, and there's other things, but then that, okay. Now, I will say this, though. With the reveal of this golden tin can, and seeing how we get to see the food in it, and Toriko was saying, like, whatever's inside of this, I want it. I want to put this on my full course. It gave us a lot of, like, anticipation. We're like, okay, what the fuck is inside of this? It has to be something insane for Toriko to want to put this on his full course. So when we finally get it, it looks very, very ugly. Like, I gotta be honest here. The shellfish looks very ugly, and I'm like, what the hell? But then something strange happens. Toriko's scars start aching. And then we get a scene inside to where Toriko's gourmet demons are talking, red and blue. And then the hints that we've gotten for a long time now that Toriko has a third demon, which was confirmed very recently, we get to see this demon inside of Toriko's body. And this demon is waking up. So, from my assumption, from what I can kind of gather from what this chapter is trying to let me know, is that apparently either A, there's two options. Either A, the food was so fucking good, like it smelled so good, and since there's like extinct, qualities inside of like different food and stuff that's inside that shellfish's stomach, it probably woke up, Toriko's demon. I think it's people call it the white demon or wings or whatever, so I'm just gonna call it wings. So, anyways, this demon wings, pretty much it wakes up. And that's kind of how many of us are probably thinking. Like, okay, it woke up because of the great smell of food and all that, and it's like, okay, it's something that got its interest. But then, on top of that, there's another option. Another option is, what if, since Gigi was talking about it in the chapter, that at one point in time, there was a great demon that was kind of locked away in a golden can, what if this right here, this can had a little bit of that demon's gourmet cells inside of it and escaped it and came back into Toriko and then woke it up. That's also a possibility. So if that is actually what it's trying to let us know, it's scary. Because for one, for anything to be locked up in a golden tin can, it's kind of nightmare fuel. But also, finding out there was something locked up in a golden tin can that's, a gourmet demon, that's nightmare fuel. Because we know that's kind of what needs to happen to Neo. So for another demon to be in a golden tin can, and then, possibly being Toriko's, wings, that's scary. That's very, very, very scary. And then what's even scarier is with the backstory we got with the red demon in the last chapter, with finding out it's like the top tier gourmet demon, pretty much a very fucking physically strong demon. For that to be, like, one of the weaker among the three, it's kind of scary. Blue is insane, like, way above red. And then, on top of this, you have it to where this new demon, the third demon, or wings, or white, or whatever, pretty much, we found out if he was to come out, Toriko's body couldn't handle it. It'd pretty much die. Like, he'd be fucking dead as fuck. So, this demon is scary. But there's more that some might have missed, which I want to point out. With the demon's structure, with his body structure, if you pay close attention when we see it, he has scars on his face. And who else has scars? Toriko. So there's an instant connection between Toriko and this demon, especially when it comes to the scars. And we know what the scars mean. So with that, Very scary stuff, because that might mean that this thing, for it to be stronger than red, or blue, and just blue alone, that is just mind-boggling, because we know red was insane, from what we found out, and then blue is stronger than him, and then white, or wings, is stronger than blue, like, well beyond blue. That's crazy. So, I'm kind of hyped up. I'm really kind of hyped up to see where that's going to go, and what type of developments, Wings is going to give us, and, we get to see from him in future fights. But for now, though, I'm going to leave it at that, because there's not really much more information I can dive into. So, besides that, we get more death flags for Midora, and I'm getting upset about this, because Midora is one of my personal favorite characters. I loved it when, he had his first big, huge, massive fight in the middle part of the series, and seeing how, once again, more death flags are happening, I'm getting a little bit upset, because he's, like, one of my favorites, and seeing how, Joa might kill him, because there's a lot of hints in this chapter that that's a possibility. I'm kind of upset, because, I mean, the last time we saw this fight with Midora and Joa, Midora was winning. Like, he was straight up curb stomping Joa, like it was fucking nothing. Like, killed Joa like nothing, multiple times. And the only way I can see Midora losing against Joa is if there's some foul play. Some definitely huge foul play going on. Like, you have to be pretty much an asshole. And I feel like something like that might happen. But the chapter also implies that if Midora does lose, that Otake will come over there and feed the full course to Midora and give him, like, kind of a power-up and bring him back to, full power. And if that does happen, that'd be pretty damn epic, because right now Midora doesn't have the full power in his system from the full course. So when he does, I just cannot imagine how crazy he will be with his Gourmet Demon and stuff. So yeah, Midora is going to be a monster in the future as well. And so, Otake, his characterization in this chapter, definitely spot on. I really have no complaints with it, because the way it was executed, the way it was handled, especially with, him trying to be there for Midora, was something I really enjoyed, and it definitely made this chapter just so much better when I started it. So yeah, chapter of Toriko, excellent this week, a lot of good information. I mean, we get to see Dawn Slime, he supposedly has defeated Neo as well for the time being, so we need to find out more about that. I can't wait to see where that's going to go in the next upcoming chapters, but that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.